Hi, this is Mara Vlasic, your instructional technology coach. Today I'm going to show you how to create an individual student journal, like a reflection journal, a speaking journal, on Canvas so that your student has a place where they can go and add journal entries, either written, audio, or video entries. And then you will be able to see those entries and it will be a private journal between just you and your student. The way that we do this on Canvas is through people. So we have to first create groups for each student. So each student will be put into their own individual group. And then we create the discussion and assign it to those groups. So the first step we're going to do is to go to people in Canvas. So I'm in my Canvas course. I'm going to click on people. And here's my people. I need to create a group set. So I'm going to create a new group set and I'm going to give this a name so that I know that this group is for my reflections. So I'm going to call this individual reflections, individual student reflections. I do not want to allow self-sign up. I'm going to assign this to them. And then I have to split students into a number of groups. I'm going to put here the number of students that I have enrolled in this course. If I am teaching Spanish 2 and I have 3 different sections of Spanish 2, I need to total all of the students in that Spanish 2 course. This course only has 6 students in it because it's a test course, so I'm going to put 6. I do not need to click require group members to be in the same section. I'll create groups manually. I'm just going to split them into groups because each student will get their group. I'm not going to assign a leadership, so then I can click save. So what this does is it takes my 6 students and it gives them each their own individual group. So here are all of my groups, and there's only 1 student enrolled in each group. If you have any students over here in unassigned groups, that means you didn't create enough groups in this group set to give that student a group. So then you would just add a group and add as many groups as you have a number of students left over. So now my groups are created. I've created an individual group for each of my students called Individual Student Reflection. So now I can go to discussions, and there's 2 ways to add a discussion. I can either click discussions over here and add discussion, or if this is going to live in a module, I can go to modules, and I have a module called course discussions. So I'm going to click the plus sign next to course discussions. And then under add, I can choose what I would like to add. I would like to add a discussion, and I'm going to give it a new name, student individual reflections. So I've given the discussion a topic name, and now I can click add item. So it's added that discussion to my module. It's not published and there's no description yet. So I need to edit this discussion. So I'm going to click on the name and then I'm going to click edit. Okay, inside this discussion, I now need to add any directions that I'm going to put here. So I'm going to put, this is a place to reflect on your learning each week. Please follow the prompts provided by Ms. Vlasic and the mode of discussion selected. So again, students can have a written response, they can have an audio recording, or you can have them do a video recording. And this will be just between you and the student. And I am assigning this to all sections of my course. If you are not and you just want to assign it to one section inside your course, you can do that as well. I'm going to allow threaded responses. If a student wants to go back and comment on one of their previous discussion points, they can do that. This is a graded discussion. And this is a group discussion. So it's really important that we click this group discussion because we have put them into individual groups. So I check this box next to group discussion, and then I choose the group, individual student reflections. What that's going to do is assign this discussion to each student in their individual groups. I'm also going to decide how many points this assignment or this discussion is worth. and I'm going to make it worth 50 points because students are going to complete it throughout the semester. So you want to decide how much the total discussion is worth. It's also important to think about how long of a discussion you'd like this to be, if you'd like it to last the whole semester, if you'd like to do a new discussion each month. So that allows you to grade it. But if you are choosing to make it due at the end of the semester, think about the total discussion over the course of the semester, how much that would be worth. And then I have the same options as I do in any assignment or quiz that I give in Canvas. I'm going to make this worth test project quiz points, and then I can decide when it's due and when it's available from and until. So I'm going to save my discussion. And I've already clicked published. If you haven't published it yet, you can publish it. And this is what it'll look like. Since this is a group discussion, each group has its own conversation for this topic. Here are the ones you have access to. So these are all of my students in their individual discussions. So I'm going to show you what this looks like from a student perspective. So we're going to look at student 2 that's enrolled in my course. So here's their Canvas page. They go to modules. And here's their student individual reflections. So I'm going to click on that discussion. And this is what their discussion will look like. They can reflect on their learning each week. They can follow the prompt. So if this is their reflection, number 1, I am so excited for winter break. They can either type a response right here and click post. So that would be their first reflection. And it is time stamped. For you, it will also be stamped with the date in SpeedGrader. And then the next week, they can go back in and they can reply again. When the student goes to reply to their original response, they again can choose 3 different modes of responses, and you can decide how you would like students to respond. So in the first response, they wrote a written response, but they can also do a video or audio response. So they're going to click this little icon that kind of looks like the YouTube icon, and this will open the webcam on their computer. So they can do a video response. I'm also very excited about, oops. So it counts down and then it will record their video. When you click finish, the student has the option to play the recording again. They can start over if they'd like, or they can save it. So that's how they would do a video response. And then they can click post reply, and it will show up as a little video icon. And it might take a little bit to be converted. If you'd like students to respond in an audio recording, they can click reply. They can click that little YouTube icon. And then here, they can choose webcam, no video. And this will just record their audio in the same format where they can submit an audio recording. Just so you know, it will take time for these to load. So the audio and the video recordings take longer for them to load. So if you are planning to grade them right away, just know that it might not be accessible to you immediately after students have posted it. So this is what it looks like from the student perspective, and now I'll show you what it looks like from the teacher's gradebook perspective. So if I go back to the teacher's course, here we go, and I want to go into SpeedGrader. So I can click those 3 horizontal dots and click SpeedGrader. This is just one way to get there. And it's going to take me to student 2. If I click this little caret right here, I can see who has submitted a reflection. So student 2 has submitted a reflection. And this reflection is timestamped. So it's submitted on December 18th. The first one was 6 minutes ago. The last one was 1 minute ago. As these happen over time, you will see date stamps as well. And I can go in and read their response. I can also watch their video. I can show you what this looks like for a more developed reflection. So here's an example that a student has posted multiple times in the past. So here's a posting from November 7th at 8:09, November 11th at 7:45. So again, it will keep in SpeedGrader a running tally of all of their reflections, which would make it much easier for you to grade as well. And it's only shared between you and the students. I hope that was helpful. Please reach out if you have any questions. I'd be happy to help you with setting this up for your class and looking at what it would look like for your students specifically. Thanks.